Okay. Hey guys, so on today we're going to go ahead and we're going to do peanut butter cookies. We're going to make peanut butter cookies. I already washed my hands. I already got my hair pulled back. We're going to go ahead and start. We are going to start with Crisco. Again, we know that's not necessarily my favorite thing to use. Sorry, try not to look at the computer. It's kind of weird. It is weird. It's weird to kind of get back into it. This recipe calls for half shortening and half margarine or butter. If you remember, we talked about in class how if a recipe calls for butter, especially if it's like a cake or a baked good, then you want to make sure that you use specifically butter. If it says margarine, typically it can be interchangeable. Usually using margarine in place of butter, or I'm sorry, using butter in place of margarine might make it a little bit drier. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to put this into our mixer bowl. I know, sorry for those of you that hate that. Remember our trick with the flour and the shortening, that'll help us with our dishes, which I'll do that once we kind of finish up here. So we have our shortening in there, and then for our margarine, again, you kind of have these cubes, so thinking about how you purchase your butter, how you purchase margarine, if it's a stick or whatnot. It is softened, not melted. If you have melted, it's going to change it. It's going to make it more like a cake, which isn't necessarily what we want. Just going to wipe my hands off real quick, and then we're going to add peanut butter. Now, I like peanut butter cookies. Probably I'm going to end up doing these with like Hershey Kisses, and I do like that. Actually, since I have to use this, and this one's kind of gross, I'm going to go ahead and just reuse it. Because peanut butter is also a pain. It's just not easy to wash. Now, I think I'm probably going to make these into peanut butter Hershey Kiss cookies. Oh, hello. That's not what we want to happen. Put that back on, and then we're going to turn it. I'm going to go ahead and scoop this out. Now, today I borrowed I borrowed Kensington's shirt, and she hates peanut butter. So the problem is, you guys know I get a little bit messy when I cook. I probably should put my apron on, because with my luck, I'll end up getting it on there. I'm going to go ahead and use this to scoop it out, since I got a little bit of shortening on my spoon. Just going to open that up again. Scoop that out, push our margarine down, and then we're going to mix that up. I'm going to go ahead and leave this in that bowl, which you'll see I'll probably end up using that bowl for our eggs, but it'll be okay. And then we'll sit this, oh, we got a big blob. We'll sit that right down. Now, peanut butter wouldn't necessarily need the flour trick, but it is going to make life easier. Gosh, that would have been bad. It is going to make life easier if we wipe it out at least before we go to stick it in our water, because that will be difficult. Okay, we are going to add 1 cup of sugar. So remember, with granulated sugar, you can just kind of over pour. Can you guys see that? I'm just going to over scoop, and then I'm going to level, and then I'm going to add this in. You'll see once I add the sugar in, those little butter balls that are in there, those will get mixed in a little bit better, that's what we want to happen. Okay? And then we're going to add brown sugar. We're also going to add 1 cup packed brown sugar. So can you guys see? I'm going to use my hand. If I had it in the bag, I would just use the bag using the outside of the bag to kind of scrape it. At home, if it's community, there's a difference. Okay, so you know, in here we always use the separate bowls just to kind of keep things separate. Shake my hands off. And then again, we need 2 eggs. So remembering, whenever we use eggs, we always crack them into a separate bowl. Tapping the egg, tapping the edge, not trying to, smash the egg or do anything super dramatic. We just want to give ourselves a spot so we can open that up. Now, if I would get a shell, which at some point you're going to see me get a shell in there. If I were to get a shell in there, I'm gonna have to scoop it out. If I use another shell to do that, that'll help. I'm kind of excited. You guys know I think we should always do little things that help us kind of be excited. Well, I brought in some new soap today. So we finally got my Bath and Body Thanksgiving order. So I brought in some good smelling soap since my other soap ran out. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's the little things. It's the little things. And without you guys here to chat with. I am enjoying seeing you guys on the Google Meets though. Thank you for that. We'll kind of get that mixed in. While that's mixing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my flour, my baking powder, and salt all in this bowl. Now, flour. Remember, for flour, technically you should sift. We're not going to sift. We're going to kind of cheat just a little bit. So we're going to overflow, and then we're going to level. Make 2.5 cups. I'm not packing it, and by tapping, that'll kind of get any air bubbles out. Now, this recipe calls for, I'm just going to use that one to kind of fill it up. Putting it in a bowl is a little bit awkward. At home, maybe you just do it right out of the bag. I would love to see some of the things that you guys are baking. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I'm going to open this up. Just going to use my rubber scraper just to kind of push down. I can still see some eggs, some sugars on the top. Can you guys see that? So we're just going to put that down. We're going to mix it just a little bit. To my flour bowl, I'm going to add baking powder. Oh, salt just came out. Shoot, I usually blame you guys for that. All right, first we're going to start with our baking soda. I need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now, normally I say equal parts baking soda and salt. This one's going to be a little bit different because we're putting baking powder in there too. Okay, so I actually need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now we know that baking powder also has the power to help it rise a little bit quickly. These cookies are going to be kind of fluffy. Think about like peanut butter cookies with Hershey Kisses in them. That's what these are going to be. And then I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Our baking powder has salt in it as well. Turn this off. Just again, so you guys can kind of hear that. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to give it a quick stir. Now, these cookies, if you watched the last video, I kind of talked about how cookies actually do better when they have a little bit of time to set up. So I'll show you tomorrow how we're going to bake them. Because if we are going to make these into Hershey Kiss cookies, or even if we're just going to do the flat peanut butter, we're probably going to end up rolling them in sugar, which I think we'll do that with a couple different kinds. A couple different kinds of cookies. We'll kind of get going. Normally, if we were in class, I don't always do peanut butter cookies because I like to do, or we usually make sure we get Buckeyes in, which I am still going to try to have you guys do Buckeyes next week. So it's going to be a little bit trying because you have to make the batter, the dough, the peanut butter, and the powdered sugar the day ahead. But I think we'll go ahead and get that done. That way we can get those dipped because that's a pretty cool skill. And this is a safe place in case you do need to, in case you did kind of make a mix up or anything like that. All right, you can kind of hear the mixer. It's starting to grind a little bit. So we're going to open that up. We're just going to kind of make sure we get all of this off. And then, same thing, I'm either going to wrap it in saran wrap in a nice ball, or I'm going to put it in a separate bowl. So, we'll kind of see. It depends. It depends on what we want to do. And on what I have, you know, if I have enough bowls. Sometimes I got to find a bowl and a lid, and that's not even worth it in my house. But here at school, I don't even know if I have them. Okay, I hope you guys are doing great, and I hope that you are, I can show you this. I hope that you are staying happy and healthy and safe. Can you see that? They look much better when they're done. Okay, I hope you guys are having a good day, and you're staying happy and healthy and safe, and I can't wait to see you soon. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.